The objective of this lesson is to subtract decimals to the hundredths. In the place value system, subtracting with decimals is the same as subtracting with whole numbers. They also learned the importance of lining up the decimals in the correct spot, as well as placing zeros as placeholders. The bee hummingbird is the smallest bird, weighing only 1 8/10 grams. The smallest mammal is the pygmy shrew, weighing only 1 98/100 grams. How much more does the shrew weigh than the hummingbird? In order to find the difference, we will subtract the weight of the bird from the weight of the shrew. Let's show this by using a decimal mat and place value blocks. We will start by placing the 1 98/100 on the mat. We will need 1 block, 9 rods, and 8 cubes. Now subtract the weight of the hummingbird, 1 8/10. Starting with the hundredths place, there are no hundredths to take away. Move on to the tenths and take away 8/10 from the 9/10, and there is 1/10 left. Take away 1 whole from the 1 whole, and there are 0 wholes left. There is 1/10 and 8/100 left. The difference is 18/100 grams. Let's solve using the standard algorithm along with the decimal chart to align the digits. Let's write 1 98/100, subtract 1 8/10 on our decimals chart. One way to keep the digits lined up is to place a 0 placeholder in the hundredths place. It is not necessary in this particular situation, but it is a good way to keep digits aligned. Start in the hundredths place and subtract. 8/100 minus 0/100 is 8/100. 9/10 minus 8/10 is 1/10. 1 whole minus 1 whole is 0 wholes. The shrew weighs 18/100 grams more than the hummingbird. Let's do another problem using our decimal chart and place value blocks. The smallest cat in the world stood 2 75/100 inches tall. The smallest dog stands 3 8/10 inches tall. What is the difference in their height? In order to find the difference, take the height of the dog, 3 8/10, and subtract the height of the cat, 2 75/100. There are 3 wholes represented with 3 blocks, and 8/10 represented with 8 rods. There are no hundredths on the mat to take the 5/100 away. In order to do this, regroup or trade one of the tenths rods into 10/100 cubes. There are now 10/100 to subtract from, so 10/100 minus 5/100 leaves us with 5/100. Move on to the tenths. There are 7/10 now, and we will need to subtract 7/10 for a difference of 0/10. Next, move on to the ones. There are 3 ones, and we will subtract 2 of those for a difference of 1 whole. The smallest dog is 1 5/100 inches taller than the smallest cat. The objective of this lesson was to subtract decimals to the hundredths, and we met this objective by subtracting decimals using place value blocks, a decimal mat, and the standard algorithm.